Pain is the number one consideration that I take into account when I'm training my horse or when I'm rehabilitating the horse, recognizing the pain and then of course managing the pain. Several of our riders who come to us in our program, it can be right underneath their noses. It can be so glaringly obvious for someone outside, but when they're in the situation with their horse, they can totally miss seeing and the messages that their horses are giving them. My name is Adderson, and I'm the founder of For the Horse Harmony program. Here at For the Horse, we've been rehabilitating horses for over 30 years, and at times when we were at our peak, we had about 25 horses in here for rehabilitation from anything around abuse, neglect, laminitis, founder, things like that. And so it's not a novelty to me to have to see these kinds of things. But when my horses suffered this winter, some different hay was brought in because we had less hay than normal. And this hay was brought in and it was fed to my horses. When I saw them starting to suffer and be in pain, I had to really take a step back. I wanted to share with you how to become a better observer of your horse, whether you're training or whether you're rehabbing, so that you cannot miss out on important information that your horse is telling you. So the number one way that you can help yourself is to observe better. Get to be a better observer. There's also in feel and there's intention and those kinds of things in there too. But I wanted to focus today on our quality of observation. And the best place to start is to look at the pain Ethogram by Adderson to learn what the signs of pain are. Eyes semi-closed, staring off into the distance, or not an interesting look to their face, shifting the weight back and forth, head tilting or head tossing, tail clamp. These are the signs of pain. Other things too are condition of body. What does your horse's body look like? Do they have holding patterns somewhere within the body that you can see? Is there good muscle development? Or are there some muscles that are overdeveloped, underdevelopment? What is the quality of their mane and their hair, right? These are indications of pain as well. Second thing you can do is to learn how to observe if your horse is having difficulty with motion or movement. And this can be a little more challenging to do, but things like rushing, if your horse is rushing every time you ride your horse, or an irregular gait, or even stumbling, tripping here and there. And it doesn't even have to be a lot of stumbling. It can just be from time to time. That would be a time for you to sit up and think, what's going on there? What pain might be associated with that? Or if there's maybe sudden changes in the gait can also indicate pain. The third thing is observing how your horse responds in their environment. And by that, I mean, it could be you. How does your horse respond to you? How does your horse respond to you putting all the halter on? Or how does your horse respond to another form of tack that you're putting on, a saddle, maybe a bridle, picking up the feet? These are things that you want to really learn to observe in detail. One of my horses that I'm rehabbing right now from Laminitis, very uncharacteristic for her to nip. She started to nip at me or to even bite at the halter when I was putting it on because of the pain she had in her feet. Things like rearing, bucking, spooking, that's how are they responding to their environment outside of you? Are they more reactionary than normal? And this is where you really get to know your horse in detail and what are their normal responses compared to what is unusually reactive. Is my horse more stoic? Is my gelding? I had a very stoic gelding who would not show pain at all. But the mare that I'm riding now, she's very sensitive, very expressive, and she shows pain quite willingly. So it can be difficult when they're stoic and equally as difficult when they show pain. So it can be very easy to miss these pain signals. And I just want to impress upon you not to be hard on yourself. What we can do, and the best way to not miss out on this valuable information that our horse is giving us every day is to gain knowledge around what the pain signals are, what the appropriate functional movement looks like for what your horse is doing, and to develop your eye in these ways that I talked about. Refer to Dyson's pain ethogram, figure out motion and movement, and observe how your horse response is in their environment. So if you'd like a list of free resources that I put together that'll help you to identify motion, movement, pain responses, these kinds of things, then put a note for me below and I'll be sure to get that to you. And exciting news is I have a new Laminitis course that I'm just bringing out fairly shortly. If you'd want to be put on the mailing list to find out about that course, then also put a note for me below. I hope this has helped you and your horse to not miss out on any important information that your horse is giving you daily. I'll see you next time.